Hello, welcome to Mixing Light's DaVinci Resolve 12 Insights. I'm Patrick Inhofer, and in this title we're going to dig deep into Blackmagic Design's color correction software, DaVinci Resolve 12. My goal for you in this title is to have you comfortably color correcting, grading, and even editing in Resolve. You'll be able to work on any type of project: corporate video, documentary, short, feature film, even Whisker the Cat's YouTube channel, and you'll be able to do editing and color correction. Now, color correction is a finishing step appropriate for every project. The minimum end goal of color correction is the seamless flow of your images. If your audience is mentally fixing problems as the video plays down, they will never get drawn into your message. After you've fixed problems with the image, you need to be sure your audience always knows where to look. And with today's fast-paced editing, they'll need your help or they'll get lost. And that is what DaVinci Resolve is here to help you do. Solve problems, control the audience's eye, and draw your viewers into your message. And I'm here to help you learn how to use DaVinci Resolve. And here's lesson number 1 about working with Resolve. It's version 12. Yes, the software team has done an amazing job updating the user interface, but the core workflows can feel very, very confusing. The number of options often threaten to overwhelm you. That's what happens with software that's over a decade in development. That's why we're going to take this slow and be methodical. To get you started learning DaVinci Resolve, we're going to start by understanding operating systems and the computer hardware that Resolve 12 supports. You'll learn the differences between DaVinci Resolve, which is free, and DaVinci Resolve Studio, which costs money. And yes, you can use either Resolve or Resolve Studio with this training. Only a handful of features are specific to Resolve Studio, otherwise the two pieces of software are identical. Now, after learning how to build a reliable system for Resolve, I'll get you up to speed on Resolve's interface and have you creating projects. I'll show you how to import footage and timelines, organize those footage and timelines, and we'll cover the essentials of how to use Resolve 12's enhanced nonlinear editing toolset. For the rest of the training, it's a grand tour of the famous DaVinci Resolve color correction workflow. You'll learn how to use primary tools and secondary tools. You'll learn how those tools can be controlled using shapes and keys, all of which allow us to make really big honking color corrections or very targeted, precise, subtle corrections. There are also Resolve-specific concepts like power grades and nodes that you'll learn. And if any of this sounds foreign to you, I've scattered colorist lingo movies throughout this training. I'll explain concepts such as primary corrections, secondary corrections, vignettes, serial nodes. You'll get an intro into shot matching and creating multiple versions, grouping shots and color correcting those groups, the basics of creating looks and using third-party plugins. And from the footage we've licensed for this training, we'll pull together the Hero Shots timeline. It's a workflow that jumpstarts our discussions with our directors, producers, clients, co-workers. Now, what if you're familiar with earlier versions of DaVinci Resolve? Well, we've got a What's New chapter just for you, but unless you took our Resolve 11 training, I urge you go through this series. Why? You know that one feature you wish DaVinci Resolve had? It probably has it. You just missed it when it rolled out. Training like this is a perfect time to find a bunch of features that Resolve has but you missed. All it takes is to discover a few of those, and this training will have paid for itself 100 times over. Does this sound like a lot? Like I said, we'll move slow. This training builds upon itself and introduces new tools only after the concepts they're built upon are first taught to you. And when you're done here, don't forget to look for our DaVinci Resolve 12 Deep Insights, which will ship a few weeks after this training has been released. I'll teach you a slew of more advanced tools while we color correct a full scene, practicing a complete color correction workflow that anyone can follow.